If you've ever had a really great glass of Chianti, you've basically tasted the soul of Tuscany. In this explainer, we are going to uncork the story of Italy's most famous red grape, Sangiovese. And trust me, it's a whole lot more than just a wine.
So let's start with its name, Sangiovese. It literally comes from the Latin sanguis Jovis, which means the blood of Jupiter. And that's not just some fancy poetic name. It tells you everything you need to know about its ancient roots and its almost godlike status in Italian culture. It's a heck of a story, so let's get into it. All right, first up, we're going to journey back in time, way back. We need to understand how this grape got so deeply woven into the very fabric of Italy. This story of this grape stretches back for millennia. We're talking ancient civilizations, with the Etruscans in Tuscany being the first ones to really cultivate it. Then the Romans come along, give it that legendary name, and help it spread all over. But the real game changer, the moment that defines the wine we drink today, that happens in 1872. This guy, a statesman named Bettino Ricasoli, he basically writes the rulebook for Chianti, saying Sangiovese has to be the star. That one decision cemented its legacy and set it on the path to becoming a global icon. Okay, so with a history that epic, what does the blood of Jupiter actually taste and smell like? Let's break down its amazing sensory profile. Honestly, when you smell a glass of Sangiovese, it's like taking a walk right through the Tuscan countryside. You get these immediate hits of bright red fruit, think cherry and raspberry for sure, mixed with these really delicate floral notes like violet and rose. But it's not just fruit and flowers. As the wine gets some age on it, those bright notes start to evolve into something way more complex and earthy, like rich tobacco and old worn leather. And when you finally taste it, it's all about structure. Sangiovese has these firm tannins, which give you that kind of dry, coating sensation in your mouth. Think of a strong cup of black tea. But the real star of the show is its incredible acidity. It is bright, it is vibrant, and it's that mouth-watering quality that makes it so refreshing and just an absolute killer with food. It all balances out into a medium to full-bodied wine that often leaves you with that classic, lingering bitter cherry note on the finish. Next up, let's visit Tuscany's crown jewels. We're talking about 3 key regions where Sangiovese is king. But, and this is the really cool part, it shows a completely different personality in each one. This is so fascinating. You can see right here how one single grape can create 3 totally distinct wines. So you look at Chianti Classico, it's at least 80% of the blend, and that gives us that elegant, cherry-forward style we all know. But head south to Montalcino, and for a wine to be called Brunello, it has to be 100% Sangiovese, no exceptions. The result is a powerful, intense wine you can age for decades. Then there's Vino Nobile di Montepulciano, where it's at least 70%, creating this more balanced, spicy profile. It's the same grape, but the local rules and the land itself give each wine its own unique identity. So all these details about structure and acidity, they really come to life when you sit down for dinner. This is exactly what makes Sangiovese an absolute champion for pairing with food. Let's take a look. Here's your simple playbook for a perfect pairing. That high acidity we talked about, it slices right through the richness of a tomato pasta sauce, completely refreshing your palate with every single sip. And the tannins, they work actual magic with red meat. They soften the texture of a steak, while the meat makes the wine feel even smoother. And if you're lucky enough to have an older, more complex Sangiovese, its depth is just a perfect match for the salty kick of a hard cheese like Pecorino. And finally, after thousands of years of thriving, what does the future actually hold for Sangiovese? Because even a legendary grape isn't immune to modern challenges, and believe me, it's facing some pretty big ones. The single biggest hurdle for Sangiovese growers today is, without a doubt, climate change. Rising temperatures can completely disrupt that delicate balance between sugar and acidity in the grapes. And this is critical because that signature acidity is the absolute backbone of the wine. Too much heat can lead to way too much sugar, more alcohol, and less of that vibrant freshness Sangiovese is so famous for. But here's the good news. Winemakers are fighting back with some serious innovation. They're switching to organic and biodynamic farming to create healthier soils. They're using way smarter water management, and some are even planting vineyards at higher, cooler altitudes. It's this really incredible blend of respecting tradition while using modern science to adapt and survive. And all this leaves us with one final big question. Sangiovese has survived for millennia, shaping itself to the hills of Tuscany. So now, as the world changes around it,
Will its own natural resilience, combined with all this human innovation, be enough to make sure this legendary grape keeps thriving for centuries to come?